Hello and welcome to my YouTube. How do people do this? Help me. How do you guys keep a straight face? You guys just cannot. I cannot take myself seriously. And I made up for this. And I know you guys that will be judging me and be like, where is the makeup? I rubbed lipstick. Okay. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be telling you a story, you know. Yeah, I'm going to be telling you a story from my boarding school days, and it's a very it's quite interesting, and I feel like it has some. In fact, let me just start. No long story. So when I was in SS1, and if you went to boarding school, you know that like some boarding school, I don't know about every other boarding school, but for mine, like the higher you go in class, the more likely you are to have a lower bunk. So when I was in SS1, I was finally in a lower bunk. I think I don't. But I had a lower bunk, and I remember that my bunk was very close to the door, And this was the time when we had like this. There were periods in our school when there were like these ghosts haunting things. Like we had so many of them. We had the Black Boy. We had Victoria the Rapu, which is like short for Rapunzel, and we had like so many other ones I cannot remember right now. But I remember that this was a time where it was like, very 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 common, very often, like very common, and you hear the stories often, like you don't know who it actually happened to, but like there's the story that one day this girl fell asleep and she woke up and she saw this short child with long hair and like. Okay, I'm interrupting the video to just like tell you about the Victoria the Rapu girl. There have been various editions of the story about this girl, but nobody really knows the right one. And the thing about stories like this is that as they keep being retold, it takes on new life. So me retelling it, of course, I'm gonna add some. Memory is not trustworthy. But back to the story. So this girl usually attacks, not really attacks, but usually usually it manifests to people who like fall asleep during night prep class. Like after dinner, you go to your hostel, you wash, then you go back to like the classrooms for night prep where you do your assignment, copy notes, read, preparing for the next day of class. So this girl, she usually like, if you fall asleep in night class and you have forgotten, like because the area where the classes are quite far from the dormitories, the hostels. So if you fall asleep in class, like the story is that like by the time you wake up, you're gonna see like this short, obviously demon child, but like she has really long hair, so that's where the rapu part comes from. And then she's gonna like ask you questions based on what you've read, and if you don't really know, then maybe she's gonna like pounce on you. So I don't really know, but that's like what I can remember. And obviously memory is like quite shady, but so that's it. Victoria the Rapu. Do not fall asleep in night class. She ran away or something like that. Like different scary stories. And this particular day, I remember like I had just listened. I just the night before. Let me say earlier that day, I heard so many scary things and so many scary stories about like people and all that. And I remember that like it was like it was like there was this atmosphere of fear. You could sense it when you walked into a room. Like everybody had already like the fear had permeated everybody. So people were so scared at that time. And I remember it was I there was this time when my bunkmates and I and one other friend, we used to cramp ourselves onto like the tiny boarding school bed. Yeah, we used to cramp ourselves onto that bed, and we used to like struggle for who would be in the middle of the of the bed. So I was near the door, so it didn't help matters. And then our door, yes, I remember the door did not have a lock, so I had to like literally put push my bunk against the door to hold the door in place. So I remember the night I woke up and I was so freaking scared. I was really scared, and I just remember looking around the room in the dark and like seeing like different scary things. Like when like because you're afraid and you see a cloth and you think that, oh my god, that is a ghost, or that is some witchy person or personality, and then you look well and it's actually a clothes. So that night I just stayed in my bed, like looking from side to side, like, you know. And I remember that there was a there was as in I was so pressed, very pressed, and I just like I was like, God, I need to go out. I need to just go and wee. I don't care what happens. I just need to get out of this bed and empty my bladder. And so I was like, I just resolved my mind and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. So I just got out of bed. And I'm not gonna kid you, like maybe less than 5 minutes after I got out of bed and I walked out of the room, like after shifting my bunk. I remember my bunkmate was not sleeping on the bunk that day. She was sleeping on the next person's bunk because nobody wanted to be near the door. And so as I just walked out, I saw other people standing up to come and wee. Like it was like a flood of people coming out to wee. And like, wow. So people were waiting for the first person. Everyone was like scared, waiting for the first person to stand up. It was mind blowing. Okay, maybe not blind, maybe not mind blowing, but it was really insightful. And that is why I'm choosing this story to be like the first story for my channel, which is, the, I mean, just do what you want to do. Just do it, you know. Stop looking to like the advice and what I want to be the takeaway from this story is like stop looking around like God, who's gonna do it first? Because most often than not, everybody's waiting for who's gonna do it first. Okay, I don't know if you get the point, but the morals of the story is just get out of your bed and go and pee. Pee being like pee being any other thing that you want to achieve. Pee being your ambitions and your goals and things that you want to achieve. And that's part of why I'm starting this channel called Former Try Things, Try Stuff, because it's gonna be me trying out stuff. And today I'm gonna be trying to be a storyteller, you know, do story time videos. And I know that this is not anyway, this is gonna get better. So thank you for watching my video and hang around for more stories because I have so many stories from boarding school, from my time at work in Lagos, and so many stories to share and so many insightful things to share. And if you have noticed from the earlier video, I was wearing white and I'm wearing black. It's quite it's it's indicative of the kind of things the kind of topics I'm gonna be broaching on this channel. I'm going to be light-hearted in some instances and talk about all the fun things that makes life beautiful. And I'm also going to be talking about the dark aspects of life that people do not like to broach, especially in this climate, in this part of the world, in this region. People do not like to talk about death and depression and you know, mental health. But I think that this is going to be a channel where we address it as well as so many other fun stories. So if you love the story, if you enjoyed it, I know that my storytelling, my verbal oral storytelling skills, my light just went out. I'm recording with a lamp. I'm using like a rechargeable lamp as a, you know, as an illumination. But if you really enjoy the story and you think that you would love to see more, please hang around. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I have to edit the other part of the video out because I didn't think it was that good. But nonetheless, thank you so much for hanging around. Have a wonderful week.